Thank you, everyone, for joining us this morning. Please use the raise hand function to ask questions and wait for me to call on you. JJ, you can get us started.
Jeff, what were some of the biggest things you saw on film after watching week 2?
Well, if you're a fan of just football, it was a heck of a ball game. If you're a fan of Texas State, it was thrilling. If you're a fan of UIW, UIW. If you're a fan of UTSA, it was heartbreaking, and really well played football game. Probably about as well played a game as you'll see for this early in the year. And they made a couple more plays and we didn't, and pretty disappointing. We worked extremely hard, put a lot into that game, and I have a pretty devastated locker room, and that's what I saw.
Greg.
Yeah, Jeff, I wanted to ask about that. You mentioned the emotions after the game. What was sort of the morale getting the guys back for the meeting yesterday? What did you notice from the group?
Well, they had treatment yesterday. They were all here for treatment, and they probably need as much mental treatment as we do physical treatment right now. We left a lot out there psychologically, emotionally. It's 2 weeks in a row. We left a lot at A&M. I warned y'all about that, and we've got a great opponent coming in here. We've got right here in our own city, and they've had a bye week to prepare for us, and Clinton and them have done a fantastic job. They're preseason South of the Conference champion prediction in top 25 the last 50 weeks. Eric Moore started that thing off, GJ finished it up, and now Clint's done a great job. They've got really good quarterbacks. Six is a great wide receiver, 3 other great wide receivers, great running back, player of the year, and he transferred over from Nichols. They're good on defense. Jim has done a great job coaching defense forever at UIW, and Clint does a fantastic job with the offense. And we've got 3 wars in a row, which I've warned y'all about that all off season. We've got a good football team. We're fixing to play our 3rd great opponent in a row.
What does that mental treatment look like that you mentioned? How do you kind of try to get the guys back into it mentally and keep them up?
It's just a lot easier to coach after a win. You're dealing with young men that are tremendously influenced by outside noise. We've got to get that noise, out of our locker room and make sure we just stay on our video. Historically, we've not been very good in September. We've gotten better in October and November, and the key to that is ignoring the noise, watch the video, do your work. There's plenty of stuff for us to work on. We don't need anybody from the outside telling us. We've got the video to look. We've got a wide angle, a tight angle, and end zone. And the eye in the sky does not lie.
What are the biggest things you can point to in that regard that have stood out as you've reviewed it, the primary focus areas for you guys to try to improve?
Obviously the big plays on defense. A lot of that was scheme driven by Texas State, but there was some MAs on our part as well. Offensively, when you throw the ball 40 times and you only have 200 yards of passing, when again we're running the ball so well, that's very frustrating. Why? Is that scheme? Is that player? Is that lack of execution? Special teams again showed up again. It's very frustrating. Our not stalkers kickoff team did not perform very well. Obviously, our punt situation. It's just very unfortunate. So there's plenty for us to work on. We also had a mistake on the sideline. Had 12 men on the field. That was crucial. I thought the substitution penalty was, that was frustrating. They subbed so late. We tried to match the sub, and we got called. But there's just some things we got to clean up. Batting the ball, we know better than that. We know better than to bat the ball on the punt team. You can't just bat a football. So those are all things that, early season, you're just blown away at how many times you work that stuff and it still shows up.
JJ.
Jeff, what are some of your biggest takeaways on the defensive performance in week 2?
Physical up front, enough in the running game to win, not enough plays in the back. Frustrating penalties. The penalties, those third down and fourth down penalties were just killers, man. The one on Davin, just a fourth down. We had just gotten the lead back, or tied it up. I mean, I might be off slightly there, JJ. That was a tough one. The one on Jamarius was just tough. He's got him covered. The one on, Alpha, he's there. I mean, 3 guys covered. It wasn't like we just turned them loose. Now, the ones we turned loose, those are scary, right? That's inexperience, MAs, things we got to coach. But when it comes to playing the ball in the magic moments, what we call it, we've just got to get better there. And there's no other way to do it, man. And the same pain y'all went through last year watching us get inexperienced DBs ready, it's the same thing again. We got to get inexperienced DBs ready for the magic moment.
Yeah, Jeff, I was just going to ask, do you have confidence in being able to shore up the passing defense, specifically the back end, all that stuff you mentioned? Do you have confidence in the players and the coaches to be able to do that at this point in the season?
Oh yeah, we'll figure it out. I mean, it's never going to be perfect. I mean, the Bears of '85 and the Steelers of the '70s, those days are kind of come and gone, man. Football's different. It's exciting. It's fun for fans. Just a new way of playing football. I mean, people air it out. They like to try to score points. So you're not going to be perfect on defense. But we've got to be better, to your point, JJ.
Where do you think we'll see the pass rush come from this point on moving forward?
We're still trying to figure it out ourselves. We're trying to figure that out. We've got to create something there.
Great.
Jeff, you guys really thrived in some close games early on in your tenure, and now the last couple of years, more of those have gone the other way. Is there some missing ingredient, or is that just the kind of scenario where those things are going to go back and forth when you're in games that are that tight?
No, there's missing ingredients. There's no doubt. You got to have somebody that can sack a quarterback. Those things are important. And you got to have the ability to execute 2-minute drives. Those are the end game situations, and we have been in a little bit of a slump here the last 2 seasons, to be honest. And I think what you have to be careful of, Greg, you're falling into the Jeff Traylor negative mind thought. You're judging us on 2 years. I'd rather be judged on this year. I think that's slightly unfair. We were very young on offense last year. We returned all new starters, new quarterback, new everything. So I think where it's fair is this week. This is the one we needed to get done, right? To see all those kids drop those balls in critical situations, I think you and I both would say we were both shocked at that. And so we played 2 really good teams, Greg, and we played really well on offense for 2 straight weeks. So I think you kind of got your eyeballs on the wrong thing right now, personally.
I know you mentioned in your post-game comments that 4th and 1 play on the goal line in particular was one you thought would jump out on film. What were some of your thoughts on just that call and the execution now that you've had a chance to review it?
Got whipped up front. I mean, played big boy ball, and they were better at it. I guess I'm going to have to scheme a little more. It's embarrassing that you can't freaking run inside zone for 1 freaking yard to win a ball game. And we didn't. We got our butt whipped up front. End of story.
In the big picture with this game overall, how did you evaluate maybe the balance of scheme and play calling versus execution in terms of some of the things where you guys fell short?
Man, y'all can study this for a long time. Coaches make 10 bad calls every game. They make 10 great ones every game. And the rest of them are a war of attrition. It's who's the most physical, the best tacklers, the best blockers. So we've always got our 10 bad ones that you'd like to have back. And we've always got our ones that we were on par with. That's just part of coaching. We made bad calls.
So along those lines, I don't know if there's anything more to say about this, but how do you evaluate overall just the performance of your offensive and defensive coordinators in the play calling in this game?
What was the score of the game? We lost. They get Fs. head coach gets an F. It's a simple system. You ought to try it sometimes. Welcome to the real world. You put your stuff out there, you win, you get an A plus. You lose, you get an F. That's what's so great about our job. It's what stinks about our job. There's no gray.
JJ.
Jeff, what can you say about Robert Henry's performance? This is his fourth straight kind of big performance for you guys.
I think that's where you have to really tip your hat to some of those guys, up front. I mean, they got whipped on that 4th and 1, but they've done a really good job of giving him some great spaces to run in. Will Henderson as well. And Robert will be the first one to tell you those guys up front have helped him, and he's had a great stretch here. I'm really proud of how hard he's worked, the leader he's becoming, and happy for him.
How would you say Owen did this week?
I think he was okay. He's pretty disappointed in himself. Missed a couple. Made a lot of great plays too now. I mean, he made some really great plays. But his job is to win the game, and we didn't win. And that's where he's going to always blame himself. I thought he played better than the stats show. I thought the drops really hurt him. He did miss a couple. Made a couple of bad choices. But I thought he played well. But he'd be really hard on himself if you were to ask him.
Is there like a disconnect, or maybe the receivers, with him and some of the receivers not being on the same page? It looked like on a few of the passes there was a little confusion.
No, there's none. Texas State did a really good job of playing outside technique on some of those go balls, and it was creating us to have to go. If we were going to take an outside release on a fade, it just messed the timing up. So he's letting the ball go. Receiver's not to 10 yards yet. Couldn't find the ball. Don't blame me for asking the question. Very fair question. It does look very disconnected, but there was a reason. I mean, Texas State did a good job of adjusting to that. We did not, to be very honest with you, JJ.
Greg.
Jeff, as you deal with the locker room with some down feelings at this moment, how much can you draw on the experience of last year and what it takes to overcome that and turn a season around? Do you see some parallels there?
More like for 6 years. There's only 1 year we've been any good in September. And I take that schedule every day. We don't have that schedule. This is a fun schedule for you guys, and you can come live it. It's not a fun schedule. We've played 2 really good teams, in-state rivals. We're now playing a city rival that's really, really good. As I repeat, they've been in the top 25 50 straight weeks. Jim Gush is a great defensive coordinator. Clint Kelo is a very good offensive coordinator. He's a very good head coach. They've got real players. We are in for an absolute battle Saturday. And anybody that doesn't think so doesn't know a freaking thing about football.
You mentioned after the opener about this group displaying some championship fiber against Texas A&M. Does Saturday's game shift your feelings on that at all, or do you still see a lot of those ingredients for this to be a very strong team?
I just think that is really one. I know you already know the answer, so that's not like you to ask the question because you're usually challenging my brain. But for you to ask the question that you already know the answer to is not like Greg Luca. I know I'm not that shallow that if we would have executed that 4th and 1 inch, if we don't snap the ball in the end zone and we win, but we still play the exact same we played, yes, it's easier to coach because kids are happier to coach, but the video doesn't lie. We've still got to fix those things, right? Those things had to be fixed. And sadly, in life, we all want the easy road all the time. I mean, I know you're a reader. It's the story of Hercules. I mean, you want which path do you want? We want the easy path. We don't want to take the hard path, the one that's hard. And this is the path we've been given right now. We got the hard path right now. So we're going to have to learn the hard way. Historically, we have persevered from this. We have not listened to the noise. We have stayed true to our team. We've stayed true to our locker room. We have been loyal as any group of programs. I would put us up against anybody when it comes to loyalty and staying true to the locker room. And I fully expect our guys to do the same.
JJ.
Jeff, what would be your message to a, I guess, frustrated fan base starting the season off 0-2 and kind of unsure of what the rest of the season holds.
Yeah, I don't blame them. They should be frustrated. Nobody likes to lose. Nobody wants to lose. We didn't come out there trying to go 0-2. We don't take moral victories at all. There's no moral victories here. We didn't do enough to win. They should be frustrated. They should be frustrated at the head coach. They should be frustrated at all of it. They did their part. They all showed up. They were fantastic. The crowd did everything we could ask for. We did not do our part. That is all fair and warranted. As far as hope, we historically have come out of these things. We were just a little later last year coming out than normal. But historically, I mean, we've won. We've been really good, man, here. So I would think the fair weather fans might be ready to jump off, but I would think our real Roadrunner fans are saying, sadly, for whatever reason, Coach Traylor is a real slow starter, and he tends to finish fast. And Lord help me for why I can't figure out how to get it started quicker, man.
Anything else for Coach Traylor? Thanks, everyone.
God bless.
Thank you, Jeff.
Birds up.
Thanks, Jeff.